This is a response to Dr. John Macarther, and basically, I just recently ran across a brief enough excerpt to begin to understand his argument. And here is the problem that I have with it. Okay, I have been challenged, literally up to the minute with the situation that, well, okay, because I have no money, I have no credibility with anyone, therefore I am not qualified for the ministry, especially since I am no form of seminarian. Okay? Now, here is a problem I have with believing that, for example, it requires that a person who is living on earth, born on earth, okay, a person who is born on earth, and let's assume for the moment that John Macarther is correct, and since there is nothing good in man of himself, okay, this is the argument that I hear and feel him making, and I respect it. I do not want to disprove it at this point because we're not there yet. Okay, but here is my contention, sir. Okay, using any arguments you like, can you please approach me directly with your theological proof that Clive Staples Lewis is in hell? I don't care what terms you put it on, okay? Because as a part of the Church of England, historically, he was a Roman Catholic, okay, an ordinary layman of the Church of England. He was a genius, not in the eyes of the world, sir, but because of the way he attempted to bring certain schools of Catholic and Protestant theology together. In other words, break the Reformation warfare dynamic that had existed for centuries. Okay? And the problem I have with this, sir, is that if only the Protestants are right, okay, and for example, it takes the explicit name of Jesus from within time, then that limits the power of the God you say created the universe. Okay, you are being invited to call me a Luciferian just from that position alone if you believe I'm that much of a heretic. Okay? But I will prove to you, by way of Sir Thomas More, okay? See, that's the thing. You, in my eyes, you haven't properly studied your history. Okay? There was a relationship. There was a conceptual relationship between Thomas More and the position of his daughter's husband. Thomas More, first of all, was a lawyer. All right? Lawyers should all go to hell by professional courtesy. Ha ha ha. All right? They should be able to recognize the devil when they see him through sheer professional courtesy. Okay, but the problem I at Veritasia Ministries have with your argument, sir, is that by any stretch of the imagination that I personally can make, C.S. Lewis was not a heretic if he respected the example of Sir Thomas More, who was trying to bring Catholicism and Protestantism together. Okay? The problem is that if you discount Roper for having married into the Thomas More family, okay, then by extension you also discount Martin Luther as a heretic. That was the whole medieval argument at the time of Henry VIII that created the Church of England. Okay? So if Anglicans are not Catholics, and remember, Thomas More's no-win scenario, the thing he was martyred for was his desire to obey God over his king. Okay? So you have religious versus political power. Alright? So before you dare call me a Luciferian, understand that I want to say doctor, but anyway, Clive Staples Lewis, who wrote Mere Christianity, was he a fool? Okay? He named the name of Jesus. He named the name of Jesus. He explicitly accepted the lordship of Jesus Christ. At what point did he ever become a New Ager? At what point did he ever become a Luciferian? Okay, setting aside questions like, still living individuals such as Delarice Roma Downey. Okay, I am coming to the conclusion that if I'm going to win this game against the forces of evil, then one of the things I need to do about interpreting "judge not lest ye be judged," sir, is do not judge any man, at least until you can judge him on his works after he has died. Okay? That's how close to the edge I am. And emotionally, my bias is I want to tell you that even though I have not taken a formal position, quote unquote, inside the word faith heresy, okay? Joel Osteen and Joyce Meyer aside, okay? Joyce Meyer is one of my personal mentors, but I have checked everything I believe she ever said to any of her public that I have ever been able to find out. Okay? And the fact is, there are some things she teaches I believe, some things she teaches I have trouble believing. Joel Osteen I have very little experience with. I am still not claiming to be an expert. I am claiming to be a poor man by the standards of the territorial United States of America. Okay? And yet, I have either a worldwide audience now, sir, or I have no audience at all. Take your pick. Okay? As some of my friends would say, that's just how deep the rabbit hole goes when you start on a witch hunt. Which, I'm not saying that that was your conscious intent any more than it is my conscious intent to follow Lucifer. Okay? But do you really wish to begin World War III based on thou shalt have no respect for any living member of any other faith on planet Earth? Is that what you are calling for from your own disciples, sir? Because that is what it comes to. Never mind, do you believe Gene Roddenberry was a prophet? Okay? Anyway, His Majesty King Caspian II for Veritasia, going public as quickly as possible. My position is, sir, they used to object to television and radio in the same way. If you want to deal with the anti-technological tradition throughout Christendom, let alone what you do or do not believe about who is part of what New Age conspiracy. Okay, I've already documented that my personal position is that Google already owns the planet. The problem with Protestant conspiracy theories, not to mention Catholic conspiracy theories, okay, is that if there is a conspiracy at the level of Google, then it is a conspiracy of white hats, not black hats. Deal with that one how you may. Okay. This is before I have ever approached any of the so-called current powers that be. I'm having to take this position inside Google. And so, my rebuke to you, sir, is I dare you to get off television, okay, and avoid using any of the powers that be, so far as technology, so far as the raising of money, so far as the functioning of the current political system, wherever you are along that spectrum, sir. That's just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Okay, so with the gentlest of respect, I'm signing out for this evening. Okay. Please don't think you've made me angry, sir. You've made me think. I bless you for that. But how dare you call me a Luciferian?